What's up, guys? Let me do it first. What's up, guys? My name is Kevin.
My name's Scribblesoos.
Well, you always gotta do it with a speech impediment.
It's not a speech impediment.
You're always like, my name is Scribblesoos, and welcome back to my channel. You're always like, oh,
And today,
and today,
he's finally recording.
yes. I took a little break, cause
He was too busy on TikTok.
no, I wasn't.
You were.
No, I wasn't.
You were.
No, I wasn't.
You
I wasn't.
were.
You don't even have it. Also, follow me on TikTok as KiwiMan55. Oh God, I'm plugging in my stuff.
This is your YouTube.
Anyway, you already saw that title. Before anything, go down there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, come out of that little bell if you haven't already, so you never miss a video, and you'll stay notified.
Yeah.
And go over to my boy's channel, Squidward Sauce.
We're gonna be posting one later today.
Yeah, we might do a 50 face. Shut up! Okay. You already saw the title. It's right over here or right over here somewhere.
I think it's right up over
somewhere. We're gonna be watching some scary stuff. From Snarled. Go subscribe to them. They make really good animations.
And Emanate.
I'm only allowed to say that. And Crinimals. And Lenims and Lines. Lenim Line.
Dum dum.
I hate Bing.
You hate
Get on.
A.
A? What do you mean A? Burgers. Bat in the house. Looked in. All the lights was out. So.
Those orders are wrong.
Oh shoot, what did I just hit? I think I hit shit. I don't really know why. I'm not about to say a bad word because that means I'm probably going to cry from getting yelled at and I might die. I got them bars, I'm gonna melt your face. I will, Evan. Whoa! Alright, this one is Don't Blink.
The newest one.
From 3 days ago.
This is the newest one.
Yeah.
Don't blink.
Yeah.
Cursed pasta scary story.
Scared to short time, something serious. 10 minutes? Jeez. Alright, let's get into this thing.
Who wants to eat from a pet bowl that's 100% non-toxic, lead-free?
Here's the scary thing about home security companies. Most of them trap you with
Sponsor.
high prices, tricky,
I bet
complex
this is a sponsor.
contracts,
It's a
and
sponsor.
pretty lousy customer support. So, while there are my phone, these earbuds pick up everything.
Oh, it's two
Every creak
sponsors.
and bump just ups my
Oh my
scary
God.
beautifully.
Here we go.
Great scary. Hey, I'm Markia. Want to hear something scary?
God, I haven't watched this in a while. Okay, Don't Blink.
Don't
Inspired by R.H.
I haven't watched this one.
The average person blinks around 29,000 times a day. So many small moments of darkness. It's something we don't think about often. That complete darkness for only a second. Nothing to worry about unless there was a threat lurking when you're not looking. Blink and you'll miss it. Coming for you. Maria was overjoyed when she had a weekend to herself home alone. Her parents and brother were traveling out of town for a chess tournament, so she had free reign of the place as long as she checked in with Mom every night and morning. Friday night, she stayed up and watched movies alone on the couch. At midnight, the front door sensor rang, alerting her to movement outside. When she walked up to the digital screen to look at who was outside at this hour, no one was there. The only thing she saw was a rimmed hat lying on the ground.
Looks like just
For a
like
moment,
Trelawney's.
she swore she saw fingers sliding underneath it. Maybe it was just the light playing tricks.
I didn't see, I blinked!
The fingers faded away
saw
as she leafed through the mail she had collected earlier, and something caught her eye. There was a handwritten postcard addressed to the house's former owner, a Mr. King, the owner of the old hat parlor in town before he had died under mysterious circumstances. It was a thank you note that read, "Dearest Mr. King, your exquisite hat makes me feel like a completely different person. I feel transformed. My Pazuzites will require more of your services.
It looks like Josiah's
With
hat.
utmost gratitude, Rose." Maria figured that maybe someone stopped by to return one of his creations. In any case, it was too late
Give it back to
go outside.
Josiah.
She'd deal with the hat in the morning.
You're my
In the
friend.
morning, Maria was awakened by the doorbell. It was her friend Teresa. Maria opened the door to find her wearing the hat on her head.
Give Josiah back
"Did
his
you
hat.
leave this outside?" Teresa asked, taking the hat off and offering it to Maria. "It's incredible." The hat was unique, but also unsettling. It looked like a magician's hat that you could pull a rabbit out of, but
Josiah,
smaller and adorned with a red leather strip. When Maria touched it, the smell of leather hit her and made her stomach drop. She couldn't bear the thought of an
Maria, put it
animal being
down.
used for fashion. Plus, the hat itself just flat out gave her the creeps. "You can have it if you want it," she said, handing it back to her friend. As Teresa put it back on her head, a shadow fell across her face for an instant. In that instant, a shadowed face of a stranger looked back at her.
I didn't blink
Maria
that
blinked,
time.
and her friend looked normal again. The girls spent the whole day lazing around on the living room couch. They binge-watched their favorite shows until it got dark.
Hey, stop that.
Teresa's stomach rumbled loudly. It was almost midnight.
Oh.
She looked over at Maria. Her friend was fast asleep. Not wanting to wake her, Teresa went to the kitchen to heat up a small frozen pizza in the
Where did you
microwave.
get that from?
As the timer
Did I
counted
say you
down
could-
on her food, the microwave began to flicker. In its dark reflection, Teresa didn't recognize her own face. And as she blinked, her face continued to transform. She felt her mouth begin to stretch. The hat. There was something sinister about the hat. Something incredibly wrong with it. Blink. She held her hands to her face. Her fingers were stretched. They were long.
Take the hat off.
Blink. She felt her eyes begin to protrude bigger out of their sockets. Blink. She dropped unconscious on the kitchen floor as the microwave timer went off. Maria was jolted awake by the sound. When
Maria,
had it
look at
gotten
Teresa.
so dark? Groggily,
Maria,
she
Teresa.
looked at the clock in the living room. It was already past midnight. The sound of the beeping microwave drew her towards the kitchen. "Teresa?" she called out, but nobody was there.
Shoot.
The back door was open. The back security monitor lit up as the motion detector went off. Outside, she saw a figure wearing a hat in the distance. The now familiar red strip caught her eye.
Shut the door.
She
Shut the
stepped
door.
outside, semi-shutting the door behind her. "Teresa, hey, your pizza is going to get cold."
Shut up.
Blink. Maria blinked, and Teresa was suddenly closer. Under the hat, her face seemed to shift in the shadows. Something was wrong. "Are you okay?" she asked, blinking again. Blink. Her gaze fixated on the sudden horrifying creature in the hat wearing Teresa's clothes. It stood frozen with its long fingers stretched out towards her. The same fingers she had glimpsed slipping under the rim of the hat the night before. That postcard. "I feel transformed." Mr. King's hat was the vehicle for this dark creature, and Teresa had become its host. Blink. It was closer, halfway to her. It had no eyes on its face, 2 gaping nostril holes, and 2 rows of sharp, bloody teeth. It was paused in mid-step, but as she blinked, it's in front of her. The creature's frozen smile was wide as it waited for her to blink again. Maria's eyes watered as she tried to hold them open, reaching behind her for the doorknob, for the safety of the house. Horrified and trying her best not to shut her eyes, they began to burn, and reflexively she blinked. The creature dug its fingers into her eyes. Without Maria's gaze, it was free to roam and to feed. Neither girl was found the next day. No trace of them. All that remained was the fancy hat with the red strip, sitting patiently by the back door.
Oh, I know why his teeth is red. When she transformed into the creature, he ate the pizza and the pizza. I don't know, I think it's blood. Shut your stupid ad mouth.
Hey, my dark darlings. I've really been into getting everything delivered to me lately. When it comes to food delivery, these things are
How many
very
sponsors
important
are
to me.
in here?
Clean ingredients and
Oh my
organic
God.
fresh produce.
3
Sunbasket delivers fresh, healthy, delicious meals straight to my door.
Hey,
And
what do you got a revenge sponsor? Second one today is The Dead Are Riding. Nordic Scary Story Time, Something Scary by Snarl, 2 weeks ago. Let's do it. Here we go. Wait!
My dad used to come home drunk every day and hit me. My mom had passed away.
That's why I'm
Hey,
skipping.
I'm Markia.
Because
Want to hear something scary?
You're so fake. You're fake. I'm better
The
acting.
dead are writing.
Exactly.
Love can conquer anything, even war. And two lovers who only wish to find a way to each other find themselves on a journey they thought they'd never take. This is a Nordic noir, a horror story of love.
Can't open my
One
eyes.
cold evening, Agata was walking home along a gravel road covered in snow and surrounded by trees.
How you doing, gravel?
The moon was shining down, and a lamp gave her just enough light to see the road ahead. It was freezing cold, and she couldn't wait until she could get back to the warmth of her home. It had been a year since her fiancé Eric had gone missing in the war. His father had given up hope, and they came to terms that Eric was dead, and they'd never recover his body like so many other young men lost. On many nights like this one, walking from work to her abode, she felt as if a shadow was behind her, following in a horse-drawn sled. She'd often heard galloping and turned, hoping to see Eric, only to find no one there. She didn't want to give up, but days turned to weeks, and weeks into months. And soon enough,
Your phone almost made me take a load in my pants. I'm sitting here watching Scary Story. Shut up!
You should have heard the buzzer before because it went.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
It was on paper. Your phone.
I put it on the wood now.
Oh,
Right, continue.
pause.
it was winter. The war waged on, and she stopped receiving letters. So she moved on. But under the blood moon of this night, a year to the date that she'd said yes to his proposal, something felt different in the air. The galloping seemed to be getting closer, the sled just within view. Was it really him? She remembered their promise in the church graveyard where his mother had been buried. He'd sworn that when he got back, they'd be married and he would take her home. No matter what, he'd come for her. Nothing could stop his love for her, not even death. As she listened to the snow crunching under her feet, she became aware of another sound. A loud shushing and crunching that was getting closer. Soon, a sled came to view behind her. There was a black horse dragging the sled along, and she could see that there was only one person in.
It's Choconut. You don't even know who Choconut is.
You're right, I don't, but it's one of the horses that you named in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah. My favorite horse. The first time I played the game, I got the fastest horse in the game. I named her Sylvia. Then I got a big female horse I named Teddy, as in Theodora. I call her Ted. And now, then it was First it was Sylvia. Then it was Ted. Then it was Choconut. Then now it's Toconut. The next one's gonna be.
I thought you said it was gonna be Loconut.
No, that's Toconut, Moconut, Loconut.
They always have to end in a nut, and then
It has to be Oconut. It has to.
Sled. When the sled stopped next to her, she realized the driver was her fiancé.
Yeah.
Agata greeted him and climbed up on the sled. She was overjoyed that he had come home. Eric was unusually quiet, but she didn't mind. She was just glad to have him back. For a long time, there was no sound except for the snow crunching under the hooves of the horse and the skids of the sled, until the young man finally broke the silence.
The moon is shining, the dead are riding. Are you not afraid, my love?
He said. When we're together, what do I have to fear?
He's dead.
Agata responded as she hugged him. The moon on his face made his features seem gaunt and skeletal as they passed lanterns. Was it the light playing tricks on her? All was silent once again. She thought the question was odd, and her fiancé was unusually quiet. The dark night was enough to fill anyone with dread, and she figured that he was just scared. Shell-shocked, they called it, from the war. But there was an emptiness in his gaze. He looked only ahead.
Do you remember your promise?
He said. Agatha wondered why he wouldn't turn to her when speaking to her. Eric, is it really you? She asked, getting a little unnerved.
Ain't you seen him already?
All her attempts at conversation were met with no reply besides his strange, trance-like response.
Yo.
I told you not even death could stop me from coming back to you.
Agatha was starting to get afraid, but she pushed it aside. Where are we going? She asked. The young man did not react to her words, only looking forward at the road ahead. She could only barely see her surroundings in the silver glow of the moon. From beside her,
You said it was a blood moon. Ooh, is she lying? No. At first, when I saw this title, I thought it was a typo. I thought it was The Dead Are Rising. That's what I thought too. And I was like, huh, you did? Okay.
She heard her fiancé.
Listen.
As
The silver glow of the moon. From beside the silver glow of the silver glow of the moon. From beside her, she heard her fiancé muttering.
As am I now, so you will be.
Tired of his cryptic words, Agatha snapped. What do you mean? You can't just show up and not answer my questions or tell me where you've been or where you're taking me. Suddenly, the sled came to a stop. She looked around, trying to figure out her surroundings.
Jump off and run.
A church to be married.
He said as her eyes adjusted, realizing where she was. She recognized the place as the town's churchyard, the place they had made their pact. As he walked off, she followed. Her thoughts, however, were interrupted by her realization that his military coat was ripped, seeping red all over his back and dripping blood on the snow. Suddenly, he stopped in front of an open grave and took her hand under the moonlight. She looked down. His fingers were bones.
I have kept my promise. I have come to take you home, my love.
Eric said as he finally turned fully towards her.
And you will keep yours.
The moonlight revealed that half of his face was ripped away, exposing his bloody skull. He stalked towards the dark hole in the ground, gripping her hand tightly. Agatha screamed as he pulled her close. It was a kiss of death, his touch ice cold as a shot.
Hold on.
Her veins froze all throughout her body and face, turning her lips blue as she took her last breath. Carrying his love, the dead man dropped into the grave. In the morning, Agatha was found dead. She was buried in the snow in the open pit her fiancé's family had made for Eric's body in the family plot. His father had received his body in confirmation of his death the evening before. He was going to tell Agatha the news in the morning, but Eric's body had gone missing overnight. To everyone's shock, they found them together in the snow. Their bodies laid to rest. Finally, home.
And they're gonna perform an autopsy on her? As
Have you
she
seen
just fell in there with him and died?
Our official something's...
Is there no sponsor? Ain't no other sponsor. Yeah, there is. Okay, I think I have time for a couple more, maybe? Maybe one more. Okay, this shape-shifting yaksha, I think we've already seen that one. No, I haven't. I thought, yeah, we have. No, we haven't. I don't know. It's where the, boyfriend, Shut!
Welcome to New London.
Oh, God.
Are you
New London when you're taking little Skittles.
Hey, I'm Markia.
Markia.
Want to hear something scary? The shape-shifting yaksha. There is a shape-shifting monster that roams abandoned houses and buildings. Be wary of buildings you enter. You may never come back. No one knows for sure where this monster is.
We have never
But when
seen.
you see
Okay, what story are you talking about? What happened then?
Oh, you didn't watch it. I did. My bad.
What's it about?
So it's about this family that goes to a place, I forgot where, but the boyfriend of his mother is the Yaksha, and he is taken by the boyfriend to a place, and he gets eaten.
You can't run, you can't scream, you can't even breathe. It paralyzes you. It is called the Yaksha. Ronan was bummed to be spending summer with his mom, Mindy, and her new boyfriend, Dev. It was Dev's suggestion that they stay at his family's beach.
2 things. One. Wait, 3 things. One. Next to 2. 2. He's got a dope beard. 3. His teeth are really white.
Beach resort in Goa, India. He boasted that it was better than any overhyped tourist destination. A palace by the sea for free was all he had to say to get Ronan's mom to agree to the trip. Much to Ronan's dismay, Dev picked him up from the airport alone. Your mom's on a tour of the city, Dev explained. Ronan sighed. His mom had only been dating Dev for a few weeks, and now he was stuck spending quality bonding time with a guy he barely knew. His mom, Mindy, was head over heels for Dev, and while Ronan was still trying to adjust...
What's his name? Ronan?
That's Ronan.
Rowan?
Ronan.
Ronan?
Ronan.
Ronan or Ronan?
He didn't blame her. His dad was currently on his honeymoon with his new wife in Hawaii. But as soon as they stepped foot on the resort, Ronan wished he had somehow tagged along to Hawaii with his dad. The hotel didn't live up to the hype that was originally promised. It was run down, bare, and a bit plain.
You idiot, that's a motel and a hotel.
As Dev smiled and motioned toward the building, a snake tattoo on his arm caught Ronan's eye. As he stared at it, weirdly enough, it almost looked like it was staring back. Like the snake eyes seemed to follow him. Ronan rubbed his eyes and shrugged it off as jet lag. His flight out of New Jersey had been long and full of bad plane food. Once inside, Ronan also noticed the place seemed unsettlingly empty. Seeing the look of confusion on Ronan's face, Dev explained that the hotel was undergoing renovations, and it was technically closed to the public.
Let's not stay here then!
Ronan were accompanying him while he took care of the place during its off-season. Ronan rolled his eyes. Hey, at least no one will hog the Wi-Fi, Dev offered. Before he could complain that the signal wasn't that great, Dev welcomed him with a tray of fresh seafood. It was as if it suddenly appeared. Ronan loved seafood, so he dug in, putting aside...
This reminds me of me. I love seafood, and the name is close to Rowan.
His grievances that he was stuck on Dev's work trip for the foreseeable future. We're staying in the Royal Suite, room 1367. Don't get lost. I'm going to go check the grounds, Dev said, leaving Ronan a key. Sitting alone, Ronan felt as if someone was watching him. He heard some crying off in the distance toward the halls. Apprehensive, Ronan followed the noise he was certain sounded like a little girl.
Beware,
twins.
Yaksha.
He heard a voice as he made his way through the hall.
The hallway from the
He
shiny.
took my mommy. He'll take yours too.
He saw a little girl run into the double doors ahead, followed by a loud splash. When he got closer, the doors swung open, and he saw a small body floating in the motel swimming pool. It was covered in...
Motel! She just said motel! I know there's a bodied person right there.
Saw a small body floating in the motel.
Motel!
Floating in the motel swimming pool. It was in the motel swimming... The motel swimming... The motel... The motel...
Motel! Motel!
Motel...
Motel!
Motel...
Motel! Motel! Hotel! Motel! Holiday Inn!
Motel swimming pool. It was covered in snake bites. He blinked, and the girl was gone. Spooked and wondering what a Yaksha was, Ronan tried to look it up on his phone, but only half the page loaded. The Yaksha, a spirit that devours travelers in abandoned places. Horrified, Ronan tried to call his mom, but there wasn't a signal. Was Dev a Yaksha? It was getting late, so maybe she was already in the room. If he could get to her, he could urge her to leave. He had a feeling that Dev wasn't to be trusted.
Dev
He put the key into the door and barged into the room. Mom, we have to go. I think Dev isn't... A sharp hiss hit his ears, and there he saw Dev. His snake tattoo glowed green, and Ronan found himself completely unable to move. As he stood dumbfounded and paralyzed, his eyes adjusted to witness Dev for what he truly was. Before him towered a menacing serpentine figure with massive fangs. Dev was the Yaksha. Helplessly locked in the snake's green gaze, Ronan saw everything as he was slowly devoured whole. And then, darkness. Dev's phone rang as he bagged up the last of Ronan's belongings for disposal. He picked up the call from Ronan's mom as she asked him how Ronan was doing. Holding back a large burp, Dev replied, "I'm sorry, love. Ronan decided on Hawaii after all and switched flights. But look on the bright side. It's just us now." Hey, my dark friends. Have y'all had a chance to check out our monster stickers yet? For sale on the shelf below or at teespring.com.
Jeez. You gave me a heart attack, Evan.
I gave you a heart attack.
Yes, you did.
I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
The old Hugh.
Yeah, we cannot watch this one yet.
Yep.
You can record a video on your channel. We're gonna be making, we might be making one right after this one is over. Anyway, this is Snow. They got 2 million subscribers. Go subscribe to them. We actually were watching it. Okay? We were. Okay. I'm already subscribed. No, I'm not. What the heck? I'm not even subscribed yet. Okay. Yeah. This has been watching some scary stuff with Kaboom and Squidward sauce. You're making me yawn. You need to stop, dude.
It's not my fault, dude.
It is your fault.
Don't yell at me.
I can yell at you. Anyway. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.